G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode on the podcast. If you couldn't tell by the sound of my voice, and if you're watching the video, it's pretty early. It's not even too early. It's like 8:15 now, but I still got to stay somewhat quiet, just because my neighbours are still sleeping. But but in today's episode, I wanted to talk about this recent thing about biohacking. Like, biohacking recently has just become a massive topic for some reason. And what biohacking is, like the definition for it, is making incremental changes to your body, diet, lifestyle to overall improve your health and well-being. And this can relate to losing weight, improving your immune system, like reducing your brain fog, and just like your overall cognitive ability, like of your brain. And with this biohacking wave, there's got to be a reason for it. And so there's a lot of big influencers on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube that blew up recently because of their like outlandish claims to certain practices that you use to like improve your health drastically. So it was like around mid 2024, early 2024, when like the biohacking scene blew up significantly through this guy called Gary Brecker. He was like a health. He was one of the people that did like all the statistics and basically determine the life expectancy of people, like of populations. That's what he did for a living. And another one is Andrew Huberman, Brian Johnson, and Saladino. Paul Saladino. Andrew Huberman is a neuroscientist professor, and Brian Johnson is that bloke who is trying to reverse his aging, which is just fucking nuts. Like, he does look freaky because he doesn't get into the sun that much, because he's a strong believer that the sun that the sun will like drastically hurt his body. And so he just doesn't go in. So he's like this pasty white guy who looks like he has wrinkles, but he also looks really young. It's a really weird sight. But like the common thing for like all of these creators is they're like three like big common things that they all preach in practically all of their content. And that is their diet, their routine, and their sleep. So firstly, their diet. With biohacking, the diets that have come through as they've been seen as like a big breakthrough in dieting is fasting and the animal/carnivore diet. And so what these diets are is they're a heavily meat or like protein based diet that focus on eating strictly whole foods. And then the carnivore diet is just a stricter version of what the animal diet is. So the animal based diet consists of like mostly meat, fruit, fats, like some vegetable, like avocado. Oh no, not avocados. I've got to say they're a fruit. I think they do like kimchi, like they do fermented food, like fermented vegetables as well, and like pickled onions and like that stuff. Like it's all just like super nutrient dense whole foods is what the animal based diet is. And then the carnivore diet is just literally having a steak or like some sort of meat for every single meal of the day. So you have nothing else. You have coffee, you have water, you have salt, and meat, and that's just it. Yeah, so like, it's not it. Like what you can have is like beef, chicken, eggs, cheese, and other animal meats, and that's all you get really. Whereas the animal-based diet involves like meats, fruits, some vegetables, honey, maple syrup, yogurt. Like it focuses on like complete whole foods that don't go any through any like uh process to like taste better, I guess. But the key part that biohackers use is like to biohack themselves in terms of their diet, and is to just include as many micronutrients like vitamins and minerals um, through dense food sources into their diet instead of using supplements. They do use supplements, but they try and involve foods that have all like the vitamins, micronutrients, macronutrients, and minerals in their foods, so they don't have to worry about getting it from synthetics or from sources that aren't reliable, that can't be completely absorbed into the body. So some of these foods that this includes is like kefir, which is like a fermented yogurt, sea moss, alkaline filtered water, greens powders, and then caffeine, specifically like an hour or 90 minutes after waking. This is because when you wake up within that hour range, like the hour range after waking up, which is what I've done now, I've already had a coffee like that early, but I don't see a huge difference. But your brain isn't fully aware. So your brain's still like, I guess your brain is also still waking up, and when you supplement caffeine, there's a part of your brain that it's meant to affect. And then when you have it within that hour and a half range after waking, it doesn't actually have the effect that caffeine is meant to. And the big difference between the two diets, the carnivore diet and the animal-based diet, is like the major inclusion of carbs in the animal-based diet. So due to it having these carbs involved with like honey, maple syrup, all of your fruits, it's going to be way more successful with like your high-level athletes. This is because when we do high intensity like exercises like our gym or our running, our body wants to use carbs because the rate that it produces our energy is much faster than what fats would, which is what you would use with the carnivore diet. And so, since you still got all your fruits, they're going to digest quickly, and you're going to have quick carbs to use. As well, it's going to help fuel your performance. But not only that, it's going to help your recovery much better. Because when you finish exercising, you're depleted of your carbs round about. So like last night, for example, I trained for an hour and a half. I would have used like 70% of all my carbs in my body, all of the glycogen in my body. And so if you're on the animal-based diet, you're able to supplement with like your fruit, your honey, and your maple syrup, which are all quick digesting carbs, and they're going to get into your bloodstream really quickly and replenish it. That's going to help you recover a lot quicker. Whereas if you're on the carnivore diet, then you'd have to worry about not having any carbs and using fats as your main recovery for food. And with both of those, you want to aim to get protein as well in, because it helps muscle, like all that gist. But the way that I think of this way of eating is I've got pros and cons. So for my pros is you will definitely begin to feel like fucking amazing, especially when you're on the animal-based diet. As I said in 2 episodes ago for the gut health, with having so many fermented foods and whole foods that your body is wired to know how to digest properly, your gut is going to feel fucking amazing. You are going to have the best poos of your entire life when you're on that diet, like for 2 weeks on that diet strictly, you will have the best gut movement ever. Like it'll change your life. And I know this personally. I did it for a few months. I think I did it for 2 or 3 months, and I felt fucking amazing. And then I just had one night out where I just decided to become a fucking cow, and I just had ice cream and cereal and whatever when I got back, and then I was like, oh. But then I've still wired it into my diet. Like it's still a main component of how I eat, because I think that is just like amazing for people. Like it's so good for you, and this will help like reduce all of your inflammation in your stomach, and it will literally make you feel happier when you eat this way. If you eat meat properly and like buy your foods from like the right shops, it will actually overall be cheaper as well as a diet. So instead of buying a shitload of snacks and a lot of cereal like consistently, if you buy like if you go to the butcher and buy like 30 eggs and then get a few steaks, kilo and a half of beef mince, like and a bit of chicken, and that will last you like more than a week and a half probably. It'll last you a while because having such a protein heavy diet, it will make you feel so full the entire time. And then again, buying from the butcher is cheaper than buying from the supermarket, because supermarkets have been filling their meat with water so that they can increase the weight, so they don't have to put as much meat into the actual packaging. So they just get more money from it. So they can make more packaging and get more money throughout the whole process. And this is shown. I think Annabelle Gabe did a video on it. He bought a kilo of beef mince from the supermarket and from the butcher, and he just cooks them down. And you see when he turns the pan, there is like a huge pool of water from like the Woolies beef mince, and then there's like none from the butcher's beef mince because they don't put water in their mince. Another one is like, it's obvious you're going to increase your energy levels. Like you're going to have less crashes due to high quality foods going into your body, and you're not going to be having like such processed shit like floating around your stream. What? Pause. Flowing around your bloodstream. You'll start seeing more muscle growth. This is because you're going to have a huge increase into your protein intake. Like I've been making a meal plan. I've been making meal plans for a lot of my mates, and one of my mates, Riley, who was on this podcast, he was actually one of my first guests. I made a meal plan for him, and this is kind of what I based most of the meals that I supplemented for him. Not supplemented, that I provided for him in his meal plan, because it's so filling and it's so like protein heavy. It's going to be hard for him to not hit his protein goal with the food that's provided in the meal plan. So you're just going to see a drastic amount of muscle growth like over the next 2 months if you just stick to the diet. Oh, another good one is you'll see less residual body fat. So when you grow muscle and, for example, you go on a lean bulk, you'll tend to have a little bit of body fat on your, like around like your love handles, your chest, wherever you hold like fat in your legs. For me, it's a lot in my glutes. Like it's actually fucked. It makes no sense. You hold residual body fat, so you hold fat in like in specific spots where it's a little bit hard to get rid of. With this diet, because your protein intake is so high, it makes it easier for your body to like burn that fat away. Like because you're likely going to be having more protein and you're going to be eating a little bit less calories. You're going to grow muscle whilst also being able to lose little bits of body fat along the way, doing that lean bulk with this diet. because like when you eat protein, your body burns the most amount of energy just to digest it compared to carbs and fats. So increasing your protein is going to burn that many more calories, and then eating like all of these really rich nutrient foods is then going to help your body burn fat quicker. And then you'll see a drastic decrease in your weight. Like you'll lose weight so quick. And also like in the long run, like it will last. Most diets that are like whole food base, you'll begin to see like a lot of weight loss really quick. Usually because if you have the right whole foods in your diet, like if you put in like good lean proteins, filling fruits and vegetables like water heavy fruits like watermelon and like cantaloupe, and then you have like yogurt as well. All these foods are really filling and they'll cause you to be satiated for a long time. And so you'll begin to eat less calories and you'll drop weight drastically because you'll begin to lose fat and you begin to lose water weight really fast. Okay, I had to just fill in that blank for the last recording because I had to go to the gym and the microphone unplugged for the rest of the episode, so I've got to redo this now. But now onto the cons. So the cons of the carnivore diet, or the cons, yeah, the cons mainly weigh towards the carnivore diet because for this first stop point, obviously it's way too restrictive. Like you can only eat meat, bone broth, drink bone broth, water, have salt as your only seasoning, eggs and cheese, and that's about it. That's all you get. And it is just really, really hard to maintain because you're so restrictive. You've only got like these small amounts of this small group of food that you're actually allowed to eat. It's too hard for most like general people to actually stick to. Next point is at the beginning of the carnivore diet, you will begin to feel like absolute shit. Like the first week or week and a half, you apparently feel just like horrible. I haven't gone through this, but I've heard on a lot of people's like journeys of like trying the carnivore diet, the first like week and a half, you just have no energy whatsoever because your body is trying to adapt to using fat as its main source of energy. And because our bodies have just been so used to using carbs as our fuel source, because like with the modern diet, it's like cereal for breakfast. Like you always have some sort of carbs for breakfast, and so by switching to fats, it takes a little bit. It's a longer process for your body to switch to fats as its main fuel source. But then once you get back over that hump, that week and a half week hump, you apparently feel like amazing. Like your energy levels stay like constant the entire time apparently. This is all just from what I'm hearing, like from research and watching videos. And then the last con for the carnivore diet is since that the carnivore diet is mostly protein, meat based, you're not going to be getting all the vitamins, minerals, micronutrients that your body needs. And so with the carnivore diet, you will likely be deficient in some sort of area in like all of your micronutrients. So then on to the next big point of biohackers is their routine. So biohackers will follow, like in order to biohack their body, they'll go through like this intense regimen on a day-to-day basis. So like a day in the life of a biohacker would look like waking up and immediately getting some sort of like sunlight in their eyes to start their circadian rhythm. And if there's no sunlight outside, like if you're waking up at 5 or 6, you'll just turn all the lights on in your house because that still starts your body's circadian rhythm because there's light into your eyes. So your body will be like, oh shit, okay, we need to be awake, let's wake up. And that just keeps the cycle going for your circadian rhythm. The next part of their day would be just to like get outside and move, preferably grounding. So that's when you just like go barefoot into the grass or into the ground. And then next would be exercise, or they would cold plunge before they exercise. So like exercise, like you can run, you can gym, CrossFit, stretch, yoga, Pilates, just moving your body in some way that gets it above the resting heart rate. So your body's just moving around and getting a sweat on. And then next they'd use electrolyte supplement, so they'd hydrate efficiently. I think one of the big electrolyte supplements as of recently is Element. They've been really popular. I think it's like a US brand. They've been getting like so much traffic as of recently with all the biohackers because they all recommend their products. And then as a different option, they would cold plunge after that instead of doing it before gym or any of that stuff. And then throughout the day, they always eat clean diet, like clean foods, like no processed stuff. And then towards night time, they put blue light blocking glasses on and then off their phone for 30 minutes before going to bed. And then when they go to bed, they're in a blacked out room. That's completely quiet, so they don't get disturbed during their sleep, and they sleep throughout the entire night. And so with that, there comes a big question, and like, is this even attainable or sustainable for people? And the answer is yes and no. Everyone can wake up early. Everyone can do a 10-minute walk after waking up. Everyone can hydrate sufficiently. Everyone can do cold water therapy. Anyone can do a clean diet for the majority of their day. And anyone can get off their phone 30 minutes before bed. But not everyone can be bothered to wake up early. Not everyone can be bothered to drink 3 litres of water a day. Not everyone can be bothered to do cold water therapy every day. Not everyone can be bothered to exercise most days. Not everyone can be bothered to follow a diet and eat cleanly. And most people don't want to get off their phone before bed. The difference between what is possible and what is not for people's health is determined by their own self-belief. I personally never wanted to do any of these things that I do now until I made it a subconscious routine. I forced myself to wake up earlier and take my dog for a walk. I forced myself to enjoy the healthy foods I'm eating. I forced myself to train most of the time. Most of the time I go to the gym, I really don't want to be there. I would much rather sleep in and then just laze around all day. Like, would this routine better, like, absolutely everyone ever? Yes, but also maybe not. Some people genuinely can't wake up earlier. Some people literally can't afford to eat healthy foods. Some people don't have running water going on that often. Some people don't have access to enough water to drink per day. And some people need to stay up late to finish off assignments and reports for their job or for school. Like my dad, when he ran his cafe from when I was around 12 till 14 or 15, I think I was 14 or 15. He ran it for 3 years. He had to get up at 4 o'clock every single morning to get up, get ready and drive to Port Melbourne and run the cafe. He had to get everything prepped beforehand. He had to prep all the food, start the coffee machine up, heat it up, get ready for the early tradies to come in at 5:30, 5 o'clock. And he did that every single day, almost every single day for 3 years straight. I don't think anyone in their right mind in that position would get up even earlier to go through a whole workout routine. And I truly believe even if you're running your own business, your health should be your main priority. But there's some circumstances like that where it can just be really, like, way too difficult for some people. The biggest difference between a really healthy person and an averagely healthy person is their mindset. Their mindset into bettering themselves. That's why I think these biohackers, or yeah, quote unquote biohackers, these people that prioritize their health over just about everything, myself included, I prioritize my health over just about everything, but these guys take it to a new level. And I think that's because their mindset towards their health is just so different. Like, it is on like levels above everyone else. It's just ridiculous. But then the last key thing is sleep. And this is like a topic that I need to talk about like the least, just because I've literally been talking about this on my podcast for so many episodes. But sleep is genuinely the best thing, and it's the it's the biggest difference maker when it comes to like an individual's health. Like, getting higher quality sleep can help from blocking out. To get high quality sleep, this can come from like blocking out light and noise in your room. This will help with your energy levels. It'll increase your energy way more in the morning. If you sleep at a consistent time every night, it'll give you a routine to stick to. And if you wake up consistently every single time, every day, it makes everything that you want to plan the next day just that much easier. And doing those two things, going to sleep every night at a consistent time and waking up at the same time every day, helps your sleep performance that much better. And getting a quality night's sleep every night won't just help with your cognitive ability, like to be able to talk, think, memorize, but it'll also help your body's recovery, like your muscle recovery as well. And that's enough about sleep, because I think I've talked about it so much that you guys would already understand all these benefits. But the bearing question is biohacking like a health obsession? And again, I think yes and no. It depends on the degree at which the person takes it. So, like, are they making it their personality? Are they worsening their social life just to be healthy? Are they getting into, like, is their health getting in the way of their day-to-day life? Like, are they not seeing people because they want to stay, like, they want to eat the right meals, or they're not trying to, like, progress, like, financially because they don't want to risk not, like, losing sleep? And then if they are doing those things, then yes, it can be a health obsession. It would be an health obsession. But if it's helping them develop their relationship with food positively, are they implementing these practices into their day-to-day life instead of hindering their life by making them own thing? Are they becoming a better person with these tools? And is it helping them become more confident with their body and their mind? Then if so, then no, it's not a health obsession. I think that this question purely depends to which the degree that this biohacking trend takes over this person's life. And if they are constantly bickering you about it and losing themselves in a way, I think that's just too big of it's too much. Like, it's overcompensated for different things, and they might be trying to find something in their life that they enjoy, but I don't think that people need to go to the degree where they lose people in their life that they love just because they want to improve their health. And yeah, that brings us to the end of the episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed. And we'll be having a newish schedule for like episodes. So I'll be doing like once a month I'll be uploading a Let Me Chat episode, so I'll just be doing it on the last week of each month. So like today was on the Tuesday, and then this episode's on the Friday, which is today. Like I actually need to finish this up and then get to editing straight away so I can post it. But yeah, that brings us to the end. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. And hope you all have a good day.